Okay, for those that don't know me, I'll do it very quick. So, who am I? I'm Italian. I'm a daughter of a chef. That explains the curves. I love eating, and the food loves me as much as I love it because once it goes in, it doesn't come out. As you already heard, I'm white Brazilian. Again, I will hold that against him. I rescue cats on the side. That's my thing. But I'm not the crazy cat lady. My husband is. So if he had to choose, he would definitely choose the cats over me, and I'm not insured.
At least you guys agree.
I'm a real estate agent because in order to help you with real estate and real estate transactions, I do need to have a license in real estate. I love helping people, and I know that will sound very weird coming after saying I'm a real estate agent. Sorry, Patrick. Sorry, Alex. But, let's just say we do not get the best reputation out there. And I'm the proud owner of PB Property. So this is me in a nutshell. Okay, so in order for me to tell you what I do and why I do it and how I do it, I need to educate you first. And in order to educate you, I need to bore you a little bit with some numbers. As you know, when Albanese came into government, he said that he would deliver 240K new dwellings, completed dwellings, every year for the next 5 years, so we could actually achieve the 1.2 million target. So this is a little bit our very tight property market, and this will help prices to stabilize, not go down, but to stabilize. Well, this is what we achieved last year, 135,000, far away from what the promise was. And at the moment, as we go, we have only 195,000 approvals for new dwellings, not completed, approvals. So even if we do complete this, we'll still not achieve what we need in order to deliver the promise. And now, as you see, I say we. I don't say the government, I say we. Because the government doesn't build anything. We do. We have to go out there and buy off the plan. We have to go out there and engage a builder to build a house for us. All the government does is remove red tape, so allows him to build, allows you to go and build, allows the developer to go there and build. But if you guys, we don't go there and buy the brand new stuff, we won't be able to deliver anything. So when you go and complain, especially people that rent, rents are so high. Well, if we don't do our part, rents are just going to keep going higher and higher because there's no properties being built for us. We have to build them ourselves. Okay, so these are the facts for the last 10 years. And in property, we don't look at 5 years, 2 years. We look at 10, 20 years. That's the property cycles. And this is what happened in Australia in the last 10 years. We had 37% less properties to rent. So this is why the rents are so high. 25% less properties to buy. This is why people like Patrick are struggling to actually get listed, because if people want to sell, they have no place to go and buy. So why would they sell? And then on top of that, we had an additional 3 million people. Look around you in this room. How many of us were actually born in Australia? Not many. Yeah, but look at the numbers. So now this is just a drop. Now imagine the whole Australia. Especially after COVID, we had a big influx of people coming back to Australia, or deciding that Australia was the best one to live after what they see that happen all over the world. So we became, as a country, a very appealing country to want to live in. And of course, as I said, more than half it's from people from overseas. Now, all these people from overseas, these migrations, are not only new migrants, but just people that Australians that were living maybe in the US, in the UK, and then decided to come back. Okay, so this is, before you guys ask me, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This is what Albanese New Labour said that they're going to do to help you guys with the property market. Now, this is not helping, because everything that lists, like he said that he's going to use $10 billion to build 100,000 homes for first home buyers by 2027. Well, how can you build a house for $100,000?
It's not gonna happen.
I know, right? Like, I don't know how he's doing these numbers, but definitely I don't know how this help is gonna come. Or maybe he's gonna set a help to buy scheme where they buy the house with you. You know what I mean? So they own part of it. Or they have the 5% deposit scheme. I'm gonna touch base on that one, because this is the biggest one. It used to call First Home Loan Deposit Scheme, and now it's called First Home Guarantee. And they want to guarantee that you get into the property market. And in order for you to get into the property market, this is only for home buyers, first home buyers. They will increase the caps, so they're going to literally send all these people that barely can afford anything to go and buy more expensive, and they remove the caps. So they now, before you had to have a specific cap of income in order to go, now any caps. They used to have a number as well of how many people could actually get into those. Now it's unlimited spots. Now look how much demand they are creating, and they're not creating supply. So now, come on guys, I don't need to be super smart here to say what do you guys think is gonna happen to property prices. Why? Supply and demand. There's a lot of demand and not enough supply. So really, like, there's not much you can do, because they're helping. They're not helping. They're actually creating a problem, because investors, they buy with a calculator. So if it doesn't make sense, they're not gonna buy. Owner occupiers, they buy with their heart. They're gonna go and go crazy. So Patrick is gonna have the best time of his life. Okay, now why I do hate stuff like that? Because some people get so attached to those helps from the government, they get so attached that they miss out on the big picture, and it becomes an opportunity cost. So I wanna show you an example of what does that mean. So this couple came to me, and they were very low income, and they had a small 2-year-old daughter, and they were older. And when I say older, they're over 45. So from a loan perspective, the bank already doesn't look at you the same. Their broker told them that they could only purchase $370K. So as a first home buyer in Sydney, you think, what can I do? But they still went out there and said, Pina, we found the perfect thing. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna move in there for a while, and then we're gonna put it for rent. And it's gonna become an investment property. Now, it doesn't work that way when you buy investment properties. But in that line, they said, well, I watched all these videos on the internet, and they tell me that if I buy the right apartment, if it's a 3-story building, on a brick building, small building, no lift, no pool, no amenities, so the strata will be cheap. If I do all that, it's gonna be a great investment. Like, fine. So they send me the listing. This one was available for sale back then, and it was within their budget, so they were so happy. And I said to them, look, and they were living in Sans Souci, and they were gonna move from Sans Souci, where they had a great apartment there, to Granville. Now, it's a very different dynamic, guys. Like, I'm not saying Granville is bad. I'm just saying it's very different from Sans Souci, okay? Especially the kid. Like, imagine going to the school. It's gonna be a very different demographic for them.
Sure.
Now, I said to them, okay, so you guys have this plan. But what if I propose you something else? Forget about all the help at the first home. Like, you're happy living where you're living. Let me help you make money. They said, okay, Pina, we trust you. So I went and found for them a townhouse in Queensland that was 335, so that meant I did not use all their money. At the time, the townhouse had tenants inside that were paying 350 a week, so they were already winning. And the beautiful thing about it is that when we went back last year to check how much was the valuation for the townhouse, in November, it was around 605K. When that unit that they was going to be a great investment property, only went for 410. They were over the moon. You know why? Because they refinanced, they took money out, they didn't have to sell this property, and they use this property now to purchase an owner-occupier in Sydney for 750K. They couldn't have done that. Now they have two properties. They don't have one. They have two. All that because they chose to listen to me. Okay.
You told that story to your husband?
Huh?
You told that story to your husband? Listen to me?
He thinks that I'm his biggest waste of money.
I didn't get it fixed now.
Okay. Oh no, come on. See? So my husband's side. So I want to show you first something, and this again, me educating you, because for some reason, Australian people or wogs in Australia, me included, think that apartment living it's much more expensive than living in a house. And this is all because, especially if you're renting and you're in a unit or something, or even renting in a house, you have no idea of actually all the bills that you actually have to pay when you actually own something, okay? Now, if you own a house, yes, the only thing you don't pay is strata. Everything else you pay. And when I say everything else, it's council fees, water fees, insurance, not only for the building, for the contents. And now you can ask Elias. Insurance are going crazy. Some people are actually having to choose not to renew their insurance because they can't afford. They either pay insurance or their mortgage. So what do? Or better, you have bad weather out of the blue and then your roof gets damaged. You don't have a sinking fund that you can go there and get strata to fix it for you. You actually have to go refinance your house, get money out, and get it fixed because you are the only one paying for everything in the house. Okay, so I decided, and Leonardo is gonna kill me when he sees this live, but basically I literally listed all the prices between everything, like council rate, sewage, for a house and an apartment, everything, and I'm happy to share this with you later. And going from a lower range to a higher range, because again, you don't know how big is your house, where it is, it depends on location, all these things. And then after you actually add up everything, this is how much it costs to live in a house, and this is how much it costs to live in an apartment. Wow, incredible. But I don't want to pay strata. Okay, then just pay everything else. So when someone says something stupid to you, you say, Tina educated me. I live in a house because I prefer to live in a house, because I enjoy the lifestyle. But do not tell me that it's cheaper. It's not cheaper. Okay, so why use me? Why use someone like me to help you get into the property market? Well, I can tell you that I have access to all this beautiful stuff. Like, for example, I was looking at Park Ridge some years ago, and I was looking at the crime rate, and I was looking at the how much the median price was, and what type of people live there, how much they earn. I can tell you all that. Or I can tell you that people that bought there when I told them to buy back then for 430K, now their home is worth 800K in a very short amount period of time. Here's another example. He bought a little bit later. He was actually an ex-member from here. And he thought, oh, I don't think I can get in anymore. So yes, we can. Still affordable. We can still get in there. And he trusted me. And then now he just got back his valuation from Macquarie Bank. And it was exactly 800. And now the beauty about this is that these are recently sold houses in the suburb, because that's how we found out how much a suburb is worth. It's not the listing for sale, it's the sold. How much is sold for. And this is how much houses in Park Ridge are getting sold right now. So imagine how happy are they going to be by the end of the year. But who would actually buy an investment property in Park Ridge? I need actually to see my investment property. I need to drive in front of it. I need to check, the good walk in me. I need to see it, and get there. In between, if there's a damage in the property, I'll go in there myself and fix it so I can have a look. I had, again, townhouses, another random suburb in Queensland. Back then, when we bought in here, the crime rate was actually really, really high. No one was buying there, and it was super cheap. And then we decided to buy in this luxury townhouse estate that it was actually sticking out of everything else. So like, if you want to live in there, you have to buy something special. This is how much it's worth right now. But then we have apartments that I love so much because I'm European. I grew up in an apartment and I really enjoy apartment living. I absolutely love it. I'll be probably the only real estate agent that does not want to buy a house in Sydney and does not want to show off with anything. I love my apartment. And we bought a luxury apartment in Queensland, and this is how much it's worth right now. So we bought it for 719, and it's 1.2 million, and it's rented at 900 a week. And my latest one was actually another client that just sold. They actually just sold at the end of the year because they needed the money. So they bought it for 755. They sold it for 1.470. And if they had held it until today, it would be worth a little bit more, but they needed the money in December, so they sold. Why, you're saying the apartment's double in value? Yes. All of them? No. Not every apartment is the same. But I'm saying that it is possible. But you can't just go and listen to someone on the internet that knows everything. The barbecue uncle, yes. All right, so this is why I use someone like me. Because I'm doing this 24/7. Okay? So does that mean that you guys missed out on investing because everything is expensive right now? Not really. This is what you can still buy all over Australia. This is in Newcastle, available right now. This is in Queensland, dual income for those ones that actually want a higher rental yield. This is in Queensland, again, big block of land, corner block, owner-occupier stay, all these under $1 million, all these under 900. So it's still stuff available there. All you have to do is take action, because listen, once the owner-occupiers get into the market, you're done. So for me, what you need is to be strategic. You need to buy something to grow your money. It's not about how you feel about it, or I don't like it this way, it doesn't make sense to me. You're not gonna live in it. Don't worry, don't stress. Someone is gonna rent it, is gonna live in it. And the prices are gonna go up. So this is me. Follow me if you don't follow me. And do you have any questions?